Welcome to another very wonderful episode. We're here at Sophis Productions, and today we've got the most amazing topic which is not going to go away. That is Jeffrey Epstein, and it's become a pain in the ass for Donald Trump and his regime. Guys, this topic, is like going viral throughout the internet, and everyone is now on this conclusion that Donald Trump might not be even able to complete his current term, which is the next 3 4 years in the office, maybe due to stress or due to anxiety and due to dementia and his narcissistic personality, he might not be able to complete. There might be an issue. And it's really amazing what Jeffrey Epstein, this sort of a person who Jeffrey Epstein was, and what he did, and how he manipulated and he took all these rich friends, his rich friends, billionaires, to his Epstein Island, and they did all sorts of nefarious activities. So it's a very interesting topic, and we have today with us Anila Shehzad, who's a geopolitical analyst and a writer, and we've got a lot of spicy content ready for you guys today. And without further ado, let's just take a little quick introduction from Anila, and then I'll get back to the topic.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you so much, Wali, for having me here again. It's a wonderful podcast, and I love your viewers also. They're so nice people who keep joining us over here. So yesterday you should have said something about yesterday, because you were going to do the same episode yesterday and the light literally went off and it was total blackout over here in the studios. So we couldn't do that. So we're doing that again today. And about Jeffrey Epstein, I would like to say this thing that
Yes.
about, just imagine that there is this island in the middle of nowhere, and some rich people own that island, and they are like abducting and buying slave girls and, little minor girls. They are like having a whole bunch of them all the time over there, and what they're doing with them is they're bringing in very rich, high, class people, mostly elite businessmen, mostly big, financial people, and also politicians. The current politicians of the time and aspirant politicians. I mean, Donald Trump was, okay, he was a businessman, but he was also someone who could get into politics in the coming future. And this Jeffrey Epstein and his friend Ghislaine Maxwell and her father, they all like created this, a fantasy land, and then they invited all these people and they offered those minor young girls to them for sex. And it was, just imagine what kind of people are these. I mean, these are rapists, these are inhuman, they are womanizers, they are like, what kind of people mentality these people have, who are ready to betray their own families, their own wives, and they are aspirant of owning these big businesses, $billion businesses, and then they're aspirant of becoming politicians and then ruling all over the world. So what kind of a people are actually ruling all over the world in all the countries? And even politicians from our countries, Asian countries, they might also have been invited over there, because the files that they are hiding is so huge and vast, and you never know how many people are in those files and how many, crimes have been committed. And this big band of ultra criminal people, they are the ones who are chosen to rule the world. And once they are in those places, once they have been elected by hoax, fraudulent elections, I mean, then what happens that these people who at the back end have their files, have their videos, have their blueprints, they are going to dictate the whole system now, because whenever that Trump or whenever that other person who was in that island and did all those nasty things, when they're going to try to do something good, something proper for their nations, they're going to pull their threads and they're going to force them to toe in line with their policies, their, what kind of policies they are having. And this all, sum it up, and you'll find that we are living in a very, very criminalized, dirty kind of world. And, I would say, God forbid, no good person should enter the politics if this is what is going to happen to you. If you are a genuine person, they're just not going to let you be in a power place. They're going to topple your government. They're going to assassinate you. They're going to have a coup against you, or they're going to have a color revolution against you. That's the new formula that's been going on in so many countries, that a whole bunch of NGOs are placed in a country where the government is not a favorite of yours. You place all those NGOs, they make a grassroots, teams, and then they train them on social media, and they buy the politicians over there, and they buy the judiciary system over there, and then they provoke those, protests, huge protest against those politicians, and they say that this is an unpopular regime and it has to go. And that's been happening, so many things like this have been happening. And let's just come back to Jeffrey Epstein now.
And it seems like, yes, you were right about who are the people who are pulling the strings. And it seems like Donald Trump has finally messed with the wrong sort of people. Even though he's the president of the United States, it seems like there's been a campaign against Donald Trump, which has been like this pedo-Trump campaign, that's what I call it. Because all over the internet, there are like things like going on which are saying that Trump is a pedophile, Trump is Jeffrey Epstein's best friend, Trump is just losing his mind over all of what is happening over the internet, all of the questions he's getting from the reporters, because the reporters are asking Trump again and again about the Epstein files. And what is Trump up to? Trump is like delusional right now, and he never answers the right way to these reporters, and he always tries to say that why are you guys talking about Jeffrey Epstein? He's like dead for 6 years. It doesn't matter now. that is like a fantasy. This Jeffrey Epstein thing is not going to go away. And yesterday, finally, Trump surrendered to to his own people, to the MAGA people, because he was getting a lot of hate from the MAGA people. And he told Pam Bondi to release whatever files she thought were legit. And the Jeffrey Epstein thing goes back like a few years. Back
decades, actually.
Yeah, it goes back decades, but 6 years ago, Jeffrey Epstein was killed in his prison cell.
Mm-hmm.
And recently they wanted to release that video, and that video had a minute missing, which is very suspicious. And it was not the original file. It had been edited from Adobe Premiere Pro 4 times before they released the video. And everyone could see that on the metadata. So how dumb could you be? I mean, these are like basic things. If you want to fake something, try to do it properly. And then what happens is that Jeffrey Epstein is killed mysteriously or he dies. Most of the people that are close to him, including his brother and Ghislaine Maxwell. There's a lot of pronunciations for Ghislaine Maxwell as well. Some people call her Ghislaine, some call her Ghislaine, but we'll call her Ghislaine Maxwell. So Ghislaine Maxwell is also, and all of these people are saying that Trump was murdered.
Trump name?
Jeffrey Epstein was murdered. And this is like a big conspiracy, while the official narrative is that Jeffrey Epstein committed suicide. And from that day onwards, although Jeffrey Epstein died when Trump was the president, Trump started this whole campaign against Jeffrey Epstein, calling him like, what's the Jeffrey Epstein list, client list? There's supposedly a Jeffrey Epstein client list. And I'm pretty sure all of you know, and I'm just repeating that information, but for people who don't know, there's this list of the world's most influential people who are on Jeffrey Epstein's client list. And Trump said, why aren't they releasing this client list? And Trump also said, why are the pedophiles roaming free when the Justice Department, the DOJ, Department of Justice, knows about everything? And why isn't there no prosecution being done to these child rapists and people like that? And why are they walking free? And it's like 6 years, Trump is continuously tweeting and tweeting and tweeting, and now the chickens have come home to roost. It has bit on Trump's back now. So Jeffrey Epstein is like this influential figure who's Trump's best friend. Story goes way back, because Jeffrey Epstein used to visit Mar-a-Lago, which is Trump's residence in Miami. And apparently this other girl, Virginia Giuffre, who was just hit by a bus and died in mysterious circumstances. This woman was like a bartender over there at Mar-a-Lago, and she claimed that when she was a minor, Prince Andrew, the prince of UK or the Prince of England, he actually had physical relationship with her, and she was abused by this prince. And Prince Andrew has been running since that day. Actually, Prince Andrew, when the allegations came, this has been going on, and this was such a shameful event for Prince Andrew. And such an it completely destroyed the the status and the
very prestigious status they have in the UK now as the heirs of the kingdom.
Yeah, heirs of the kingdom. So without further ado, I'll play a video by Mehdi Hassan, and this video we'll play it and we'll react to it, this video, because this video is really interesting, and it's like 6-7 minutes of this video, and it is just mind-blowing.
They love all of that. MAGA is having a crisis of confidence, but it's not over Trump's Medicaid cuts or his mass deportation campaign. They love all of that. What they don't love is that the Trump DOJ is now denying that the late child sex offender and disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein had any kind of quote-unquote client list, or that his death was anything other than a suicide. They're mad at Trump's Attorney General Pam Bondi, accusing her of incompetence, or worse, a cover-up. But how come MAGA is never mad at Trump for, being friends with Jeffrey Epstein, for all his connections to Epstein over the decades? How come they never saw the writing on the wall when Trump got quite prickly and even nervous last year when he was asked on Fox about declassifying a certain set of files?
Would you declassify the 9/11 files?
Yeah.
Would you declassify JFK files?
Yeah. I did a lot of it.
Would you declassify the Epstein files?
Yeah, I would.
All right.
Yes, I would. I think that less so because, you don't know.
Less so.
You don't want to affect people's lives if it's phony stuff in there because there's a lot of phony stuff
Yeah.
with that
Fazan,
whole
can you turn
world.
the volume up of the laptop?
But I think I would, or at
Laptop.
least
Do you think that would restore trust? Help restore trust?
Yeah, I don't know about Epstein so much as I do the others.
I don't know about Epstein as much as I do the others. Are you kidding me? Trump knows Epstein better than most people on planet Earth. So while MAGA may be obsessed with Pam Bondi and before her, the Clintons, we here at Zateo have got you covered when it comes to Trump and Epstein. Everything you need to know about these two best buddies going back almost 40 years. So here we go. Let's start in 1987. That's when Epstein and Trump's friendship begins. At least that's what Trump told New York Magazine in 2002. By 1990, the two men have officially become neighbors after Epstein buys a mansion in Palm Beach, just 1 mile away from Trump's Mar-a-Lago. According to Roger Stone, Trump once said that Epstein's pool was filled with young girls when he visited, telling Stone that it was nice to see Epstein let the neighborhood kids use his pool. The neighborhood kids. Trump hosted an even more exclusive party at Mar-a-Lago for a, quote, calendar girl competition with just him, Epstein, and almost 30 women. Between 1993 and 1997, Trump flies on Jeffrey Epstein's private jet at least 7 times. 7 times, according to flight logs released by Trump's own AG, Pam Bondi, earlier this year. Now we come to the year 2000, a big year for the dynamic duo. Trump and Epstein are pictured together at Mar-a-Lago, along with Melania, prior to her becoming Trump's third wife, and Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein's sidekick, who would later be convicted for child sex trafficking. 2000 was also the year that one of Epstein's most prominent victims, the late Virginia Giuffre, was allegedly recruited into Epstein and Maxwell's sex ring while she was working as a locker room attendant at, wait for it, Mar-a-Lago. That same year, reporter Michael Corcoran of Maximum Golf magazine documents Trump greeting Epstein, Maxwell, and a young woman accompanying them as they board onto Trump's private jet, along with Trump's family, for a trip to Mar-a-Lago. Trump supporters like to claim that their man had no idea about Epstein's pedophilia. And yet in 2002, in that interview with New York Magazine, Trump describes Epstein as a lot of fun and liking beautiful women almost as much as he did, specifically those, Trump says, on the, quote, younger side. Come 2004, though, Trump and Epstein have a major falling out after going to war over the purchase of a Palm Beach property. Trump ultimately won that battle, selling it off a few years later. Now, in 2008, Epstein is finally convicted for soliciting minors for prostitution, making him an official sex offender. Only he's granted a non-prosecution agreement signed off on by the U.S. Attorney for Southern Florida, Alex Acosta, who Trump would later hire as his labor secretary. This allowed Epstein to plead guilty to only state, not federal charges, and avoid a possible life sentence.
So yeah, guys, that was like the whole story.
Amazing.
And yeah, Mehdi Hassan really did this story very good. There's a few comments that I want to read, and then I'll go on and I'll tell you about Jeffrey Epstein and everyone else. So Fazan is saying hello, and Imran Khan is also here, and he's saying Wali the legend. Thank you, Imran, for being here, watching our live stream. Asma is here. She's saying Wali Wonders को सलाम, बहुत ज़बरदस्त content इस रहे हो आप लोग, appreciate करती हूँ आपकी मेहनत, keep going strong. And she's also saying Assalamu alaikum, Miss Anila.
Walaikum salam. Asma, how are you?
And Ruhail is like, Ruhail Akhtar is also here. He's saying salam, and Ehsan is here. And Ruhail is saying, Wali bhai, good and kind-hearted person. Thank you so much, Ruhail bhai, for being here, for listening to our live streams. And there's Nimra. Nimra is here, and Nimra is saying, we literally waited till dozens, till we dozed off yesterday. Glad Wali Wonders is rocking the stage now. जो कुछ एप्स्टीन केस में छुपाया गया वो सिर्फ स्कैंडल नहीं, एक पूरी सिस्टम की करप्शन का आईना है. And Rahman Mansoor is here, and he's waving to everyone. Thank you guys for being here at our live stream. And with that, and please do like, share, and subscribe these live streams, because this is like a free way to help us grow our channel. And we absolutely love every second of what we're doing over here. And we hope that we'll continue doing this for the next, I don't know, infinite number of years. So with that, we just showed you this amazing evidence about Donald Trump and Epstein being together at Mar-a-Lago, and this relationship goes back like 20, 30 years almost. Trump has been photographed with Jeffrey Epstein even around 1992, which is almost 33 years ago. And that begs the question, why is Trump so old and why isn't he dead already?
He's 79 years old right now.
Yeah. So now Trump, let me show you the next picture that I want to show you. And let me just scroll down. And hold on a second, there's a lot of things that we're going to show you. So yeah, so Trump is now laying down and he's crying like a baby and he's saying, stop talking about the Epstein list, finally. And hold on a second, there's like this good little meme that I wanted to show you. So yeah. And now people in the United States of America are putting billboards of these images that were taken when Trump and Jeffrey Epstein were together and they were partying and they were best buddies. And now they've like put these pictures on the billboards. How amazing is that?
Embarrassing it is for.
And this is a picture of Trump. And the tweet says, this is a picture of two guys on a private jet going to a private island that didn't know each other. Doesn't look like that. They're laughing and they're like enjoying their flight, enjoying their meal, and it doesn't look like these guys don't know each other. It looks like they know each other really, really well. So it is almost 67 different occasions that Trump has been photographed with Jeffrey Epstein. And this is just so ridiculous. And all of these footages that I'm like showing you, I mean, you can check for yourself. These are like a lot of times when Trump was with Jeffrey Epstein. So,
So what about Ghislaine's father? You should tell something about him.
Yeah, yes. I'll tell about Ghislaine Maxwell's father as well. For that, I want to show you a video as well, because it is Ghislaine Maxwell's dad and George Galloway. And George Galloway is this UK politician, and he is also a media personality these days. And it was actually George who put like this case on Robert Maxwell, who was Ghislaine Maxwell's dad. And before he could come to the court and see the light of day, and what happened was that Robert Maxwell, this influential billionaire who was sitting in his yard, suddenly was thrown off the yard, and he died of mysterious circumstances. And Ghislaine was the first one to come over there and see what had happened, and she was screaming and crying out of her head that they killed my dad, they killed my father, the Mossad killed my father, the CIA killed my father, because Robert Maxwell is the main guy. What was happening at Robert Maxwell's time? Because Robert Maxwell, now this guy is back in the 60s and the 70s. And that is the peak of America. And what happens is that he is like a Mossad asset, and he has all of this disgusting evidence, damning evidence about all these influential people. And he used to, this Israeli blackmail operation, that's what they do. First, they coerce you to come meet this young lady. And she might look older, but she's just 16 or 17, and Hello. So, what happens is that when these guys get physical with these girls, they have this recorded footages and photos, and they have this evidence that they can prove in the court. And that's where they get this influence and they get this power to control all these big elites. So Robert Maxwell was thrown out. And I was also telling you that Robert Maxwell is the sort of guy who there were different mafias in the 60s and the 70s all around the world, because the Asian drug lords and the Mexican drug lords, and there were some drug lords in the Middle East, and there were arms dealers, there were terrorist organizations. So all these organizations, these mega big organizations, were doing their own thing, and sometimes they were fighting with each other because if both the people, the Mexicans and the Asians, are selling drugs to the same Americans, so they used to have this fight, territorial fights all over. And what really happened is Robert Maxwell was the first person to unite all of these mafias together. So it became one world mafia for all the extortion and the drug trafficking and the, what you can say, prostitution and human trafficking and all these sort of nefarious activities. And Robert Maxwell was on top of that. And then Robert Maxwell dies, and who continues his legacy is her daughter, Ghislaine Maxwell, and this guy, Jeffrey Epstein, who was
teacher,
in the
I think.
90s. Jeffrey Epstein was just a school teacher without a real qualification. He never himself went to a college, never got graduated, but he was somehow became a school teacher. And a few years passed by, and now this guy owns like millions and millions of dollars. He owns yachts. He owns properties that are worth like 100, 200, 300 million. And all of these places are bugged by cameras and by recording devices. That's why recently they put Jeffrey Epstein's New York mansion, New York home for sale, and no one is buying that because they know that there might be like hidden bug devices in the walls. So they probably have to tear the whole place down before they can start. And that really says, the next video I want to play is about this woman who was, she comes to the Jimmy Dore show and she explains the nature of these people. These people, and MK Ultra as well. I don't know if my audience knows about MK Ultra. This MK Ultra is like a program that was introduced by the CIA back in the 70s and the 60s. And apparently they were thinking that they could manipulate other people, they could transfer their energy to other people, and they could manipulate them somehow. And it was just awful and disgusting, and they used this mind control techniques on people. They exploited women, they exploited men, and I guess the operation ended, but let's just see. Let's just first grasp the mentality of what sort of people these are, and then we'll continue about Jeffrey Epstein.
Building a structure in your mind that could be externally controlled. It also included remote viewing, and I was in the division of the program. It was the Monarch program, and as a pretty little girl, I was put in the sex magic program, and that was more about sexual abuse than sex magic, but it was also about teaching us to project sexual energy into other people and then use that to control them. So anyway, it was a terrible experience. The core of the program, every session would start with being tied to a spinning wheel, and hearing the chant, and this is really, really important to what's happening in our country right now, because they would chant over and over, there is no day, there is no night, there is no light, there is no dark, there is no man, there is no woman, there is no adult, there is no child, there is no up, there's no down, on and on and on, going faster and faster and faster until they would reach a climax when you were just absolutely ready to die. And at that point, as the person tied on the wheel, I was supposed to give up my soul in a flash of green, and they would say, there is only green. And I think most people did, because if you gave up your soul, then you were rewarded from that moment on. You were the singer that couldn't sing but gets the $1 million contract, the writer that can't write but sells all the books. You eventually worked your way into, I believe, the things, unaccountable agencies like the Senior Executive Service. And yes, that was 70 years ago. And trying to tell people about this for all this time, like many others like me, trying to explain what was happening to people, the enormous pressure was, you're crazy, this didn't happen, the government wouldn't do this, you're talking about the CIA, for God's sake. And it really wasn't until December 23rd of 2024, what's that, 6 months ago?
Yeah.
That actually they released this. And this is a...
So yeah, this is such a horrific story that she's telling. And this woman, Juliet Angle, her dad was, her uncle created the CIA. And his dad was like an FBI agent. And they were like the first ones. When the MK Ultra project was launched, they sold their own daughters to this project. And how, I mean, disgusting is that? How could a father do that to her own daughter? And is there like really something as mind control? Or is it just like something that is just a figment of their imagination? Because I don't really think if there was really mind control, no one over here would be doing what we're doing, because we're all wasting our times not doing things constructive. If there was like a mind control thing, people would have been more constructive and more focused towards something. So would you want to talk about women rights and how this culture in the United States, where they say that women have rights, but actually these women are like being exploited. Not all of them, of course, but some of them. So do you have something?
Yeah, I mean, that's a different topic, although. But it's interesting to note that, in the Western countries, in Europe, and the US, places like which we think that they are very free and women have so many rights and women are stronger over there, but there is a lot of rape culture in those countries, and there have been reports that as a societal thing, there is so much rape and so much abuse of women, even of young men also, but mostly of women. And it is so normal for them that they don't bother to go to the police and report that, because it's something that's going on with them every day. And there is abuse in marriages, there is abuse in extramarital, all those relationships. That and the pornography whole industry that is going on over there, that is also very, very exploitative. And at the end, the feminist movement and all those movements, pro-feminist type movements that tried to free the woman of the shackles of the homes and free them of the shackles of marriage and free them from motherhood and all that. That has eventually, now there are so many feminist leaders in Europe who are saying that feminism has actually made them more miserable than than their lives maybe before all this feminism. And they've said that it's been a blowback on them, and they have really suffered, and they are suffering, because all these freedoms are actually taking away the real womanhood, the real happiness, the real things that women value. Those things have been stashed away. And if your whole society, when you are telling your whole society that this is the way of life, this is the way to be, then these criminals, they get more acceptance, more place, and more, victims. They get easily, if somebody is running a pornography, thing, he or she can get more easily. They can get victims from their own society if the society is so free, if people think that sex should be free, and all those things. So now that is something you asked me, but again, coming back to Jeffrey Epstein, that is another level of this crime, because this is the level where the whole international elite, political elite, and financial elite is being trapped inside this, thing that they are having fun. They are they are feeding their lust or whatever, and then they are being photographed and videographed in those things, so that now really in real terms, the CIA and the Mossad and all those type of agencies, they can now really control this whole, now just imagine Trump is 79 years old now. He is a narcissist who loves himself, who wants everybody to love him, who wants to be the most powerful man on the planet Earth, who wants to be the greatest man, and who wants the Nobel Prize, and all that thing. At this point of his age, he is now being pulled by the CIA and the Mossad and whatever agencies there are for things that he did 20 years ago, 15 years ago maybe. And how is, this is democracy. This is the real face of democracy. How is he elected representative of the biggest, the most powerful country of the world, does not have a standing? Like, he has no say on what he's going to really do and say, because whatever he tries to do, he wants to end the Ukraine war, people are going to pull his strings. He wants to end the Gaza-Israel war, people are going to pull his string. And now, there is literally nothing he can actually do, and this is going to trigger his dementia and his, this mental problems that he used to have. And that's why people are saying that maybe he won't survive the term.
The term, yes. And they will show you some evidence as well, because there's some footage of Donald Trump's hands and feet, and they look like swollen, or they look like either he's going to die from stress, or he's not going to continue his term, one or the other. So yeah. And another thing that Jimmy Dore, this guy that I really follow, he says like pedophilia is a epidemic or pandemic, some sort of a, because it is so prevalent in the United States culture. 1 out of 6 children have been sexually abused by some of their family members or some elder guy. And this is like going on in the United States, and it's like really, I mean, what can one say? It hurts.
We should thank God for being Muslims, and really, I mean.
Because if you open all these agendas, like there's no guy, there's no girl, and then there's this LGBT thing, and then, I mean, if you are so far ahead and you're doing all of these things that don't really make sense, then these things will come. And with also this new transgender and all these things, the term grooming comes in as well, because they are grooming these children as young as 13 years old. And you can't drink or drive before you're 18, but you can change your sex before you're 18. So without the consent of parents, all of these teachers that are in the school, they're putting these children on like puberty blockers and all these other things, estrogen, and things that will have a complete and permanent effect that is not reversible. So a 13-year-old kid might think for a month or two that he doesn't belong to his gender, and he might say that to his teacher, and the teacher might put the child, and this kid doesn't know anything. So the teacher's putting this child on this program without the consent of their parents, and it is permanently damaging these children's lives, because once they get these puberty blockers and they're like 18, 19, 20, then that cannot come back. And sometimes a lot of us are not satisfied with our own selves. Maybe some of us don't like the way we look, or some of us don't like our hair, and some of us might not like something else. But the point is that it's not your face that is wrong, or it's not that you're going bad. It's that there's something wrong with your own perception and your own mind. So when usually people go through these surgeries, they're still dissatisfied, because it wasn't the body's fault in the first place. It was a mental issue that initiated all these things. Yeah. So with that,
there was a report that LGBT people are having more, highest suicide rate, because they are not satisfied with whatever lifestyle they're having.
Yeah.
That was also a report.
Yeah, that's it. So the next photo that I want to show you says, select all the squares containing someone on the Jeffrey Epstein list. And there's Trump's face, and all of the boxes are checked. This sort of boxes come when we're watching Google, and when we're going through some website, and it says, gives us the catch-up eye, and we have to solve that puzzle. So people are solving that puzzle, and every square is a pedophile. And before the next video, let me just read out some comments. And Rehman Mansoor is saying, Wali bhai, sabse bada sawal, agar client list nahi hai hi nahi, to Maxwell jail kyun hai? और अगर लिस्ट है तो फिर चुप क्यों है? ये इसके बारे में हम लोग डिस्कस करेंगे डेफिनेटली. ये सबसे मेन टॉपिक है, क्योंकि गिलेन मैक्सवेल वो अब कोर्ट के अंदर गई है, और बल्कि वो जेल के अंदर बैठी, फिर वो कह रही है कि अगर जेफरी एप्स्टीन की कोई क्लाइंट लिस्ट ही नहीं है तो मुझे क्यों आप लोगों ने जेल में रखा हुआ है? क्योंकि अमेरिका का प्रेसिडेंट अब खुद आके बता रहे. एंड अपेरेंटली द ओनली पर्सन हु इज कन्विक्टेड because of Jeffrey Epstein's crimes is Ghislaine Maxwell. So you're saying that all of these influential people, not even one of them is being convicted or being asked questions. That is such an amazing fact, and these people are roaming around free, and they're doing their business, and they're going about their lives each and every day, and they're in front of the whole world, and no one is daring to catch these guys, convict them, put them in court, ask them why they were abusing minor children, why were they with Jeffrey Epstein. Because even after Jeffrey Epstein was convicted of all his soliciting prostitution and soliciting minors for prostitution, even after that, the Prince Andrew went to Jeffrey Epstein and was photographed with him in New York in his home outside in the garden walking with Jeffrey Epstein. So, and now Trump has the balls to say, why are you talking about Jeffrey Epstein?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Who is Jeffrey Epstein? He died 6 years ago. It's Obama. It's Hillary. So let's watch a video. Can we put on the audio, please?
Your memo and release yesterday on Jeffrey Epstein, it left some lingering mysteries. One of the biggest ones is whether he ever worked for a American or foreign intelligence agency. The former Labor Secretary, Miami U.S. Attorney Alex Acosta, he allegedly said that he did work for an intelligence agency. So could you resolve whether or not he did? And also, could you say why there was a minute missing from the jailhouse tape on the night of his death?
Yeah, sure. If
Hey, Pam, could I just interrupt for 1 second? Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. You're asking, we have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable. Do you want to waste the time, and do you feel like answering?
I don't mind answering.
I mean, I can't believe you're asking a question on Epstein at a time like this where we're having...
That is so funny. That is so funny. Hold on a second, yeah. So that is so funny that Donald Trump is like talking of like that. Why do you want to know about Jeffrey Epstein? Why are you wasting my time? And this is the guy who has been screaming at the top of his lungs. He's been saying, why aren't the pedophiles in the jail? Why isn't the Epstein client list being made public? And all of these things are like really, really
Actually,
amazing.
he didn't expect that his pictures would be in those files, no?
And apparently, Ghislaine Maxwell, who's in prison, doesn't want to say that there wasn't an Epstein client list. She actually wants to give that Epstein client list away to the public. And recently, Congress is attempting to prevent Ghislaine Maxwell from disclosing Jeffrey Epstein's client list, and that is Daily Mail. So the Democrats, not the Democrats, the Republicans actually filed this thing that they weren't allowing Ghislaine Maxwell to release these files, to come to court and to testify against the Republican Party or against all of these elites who were involved in this heinous crime.
She's also said, I think, a few days back, that Epstein was murdered.
Yes, yes. And there's footage of his brother as well. He's in an interview and he's also saying that Jeffrey Epstein did not commit suicide, he was murdered. And because Jeffrey Epstein was in jail with this ex-mafia guy who was like much bigger than him, and he was a muscular, tall dude. And before Jeffrey Epstein, a week or two before Jeffrey Epstein was murdered, when he came to the court, he had bruises all over his face and his body, and he was still laughing, but they were trying to get something out of Jeffrey Epstein. Maybe they got that thing out of Jeffrey Epstein and they killed him. Maybe he wasn't complying to them and they tried to force it out of him, and that's why they killed him. Mm-hmm. Some sort of a conspiracy that is happening, and it was the Trump's administration.
Mm-hmm, at that time.
Yeah, and Trump had a falling with Jeffrey Epstein over Palm Beach properties. So that says a lot. That says a lot. So this is another post that I'm showing you, and it says, "Don't tell Rosie O'Donnell." Post distracts you from the fact that Trump is lying about Jeffrey Epstein's list. So there's a picture of Jeffrey Epstein, and he is like pointing towards, Donald Trump is pointing towards Jeffrey Epstein. And this is back in 1992, I guess. And this photo I already showed you, that Trump is like being
photographed.
Best friends, I would say.
Yeah.
When you see all of these pictures, would you call Trump and Jeffrey Epstein best friends?
Yeah, I think so. There was also a video with both of them, no?
Yeah. So Diddy is found not guilty on all major sex trafficking charges. The FBI ends the investigation into Prince Andrew. The DOJ, which is the Department of Justice, closes the Epstein list case. declares a child abuse by elite predators is being covered up and buried in real time in front of your eyes by the Donald Trump administration. So why is Donald Trump protecting? And Donald Trump got ratioed on his own platform, which is the Truth Social. Because Donald Trump, like 3 days ago, did this post that he said, stop talking about Epstein. And there was like a long post. It had a lot of things in it. So finally, what happens is that 40,000 people gave a negative comment. And we know who's on Truth Social. It's all the mega people who are Trump supporters, because Truth Social is Trump's own network. And he's getting ratioed on his own network. How amazing is that? So his own fan base is turning against him. Would you want to add something about that?
Yeah, I mean, I just wanted people to realize the true face of democracy. Like, this is how democracy actually works. And you just pick up, a popular face, and you bring that person to power, and you know that this person has done some nasty things, and you have all his, evidences, and then when finally that person is on the seat of power, you know how to control that person. So that happens in, I think, almost all democracies. If you get once in a blue moon, you get a person who is genuine, who doesn't have any, background, who doesn't have any criminal, history, then your deep state, the system is not going to like that person, and they will not be happy with that person, and they're going to eventually get him off the seat. And only those people who are corrupt, who are who have a lot of videos, evidences, and a lot of illegal earned money and illegally earned properties and all that, those people are excellent for being your country's prime minister or your country's presidents. And the deep state and the international elite, a whole, this big bunch of guys, they are also going to back you.
Yeah.
So you can expect that from democracy, that you're never going to have a genuine leader.
But we're all living in a democratic system. Most of the countries, most of the countries, there's
most countries have this system. But I'm just trying to tell you that this system is so weak, it has so many loopholes that you can just corrupt the system, you can do what you want to do, and just have a cover of democracy. And in reality, there is actually no democracy. There is nothing for the people, by the people, that thing is not there. Because just look at the United States, this very civilized, they boast to be the greatest nation of the world, and the people who voted for Donald Trump are the ones who are asking Trump for the Epstein files, because he promised them in these elections that he's going to do. He's going to open the files, and he also promised that he is going to cut off all the expenses that the government is doing, and they are spending so much money. They're wasting billions and billions of dollars every year. And Trump promised the MAGA people, his followers, his supporters, that he's going to end those extra expenses and the luxuries that the political elites and the government officials, they are having. And what did he do? Just within 2 or 3 months, he got into a fight with Elon Musk, and the Doge whole structure I think has been compromised by now, and he has also signed the big beautiful bill which is going to allow the US to take more debt of trillions and trillions of dollars, and then the debt on the United States right now is $37 trillion. The debt on Pakistan, maybe 1 billion or something, $2 billion.
$200 billion.
No, rupees. 200
billion dollars. Yes, but that is like a little
But they
amount.
have, 37 trillion. You just imagine how many more zeros there are. And there is no way that the United States can ever pay back that money. And now, instead of being responsible and following all his promises, the 30-day promises, the 90-day promises, what has Trump done? He has signed this bill which will allow the US government to take more $3-4 trillion debt, and by the end of, they say, 2028, the debt might become double this size, which it is right now.
So that is like an interesting question, because America, the good days of America have passed away, and there's like a point of no return. When you cross a certain threshold, then you can't just go back and solve everything. So if America would want to go back to its glory days, the time has actually passed. The ship has actually sailed. Yeah, and because of that, America is like on a trajectory that in the next, after 10 years or so, America might have a debt of $100 trillion, and there is no way to get out of this debt trap, which is almost $100 trillion, without deflating their own currency. So when we see Zimbabwe's currency, or when we see some other third world currency that the currency is just running, and everyone is like losing their wealth, like what happened in Argentina back in the days, and that is how America, the way America is going, and they're not stopping it. Donald Trump is actually fast tracking this because of his new, bold, beautiful bill. And that is also an interesting thing, because Elon Musk and Donald Trump were really cozy, and Elon Musk was in the White House like for 2-3 months, and they were like best pals. And what is happening? They had this big fight over this big, beautiful bill, because Elon Musk was the one to say that we need to cut our government spending. And then Donald Trump first cuts the unnecessary things that are happening, and that might amount to a few $100 billion. And then Donald Trump, after like 3 or 4 months, comes out with this big, beautiful bill. And Elon Musk is like, either it can be big, or either it can be beautiful. It can't be both at once. And Trump is still trying to pass this bill, and then Elon Musk is screaming and crying, and he runs out of the White House. And this is on like common knowledge. This is like reported that he ran out screaming from the White House.
He's making his own party now also.
Yeah, and now he's making his own party. And he said...
But before that...
Yeah, he said, Elon Musk said, that Donald Trump was in the Epstein files.
Best friends. Before Elon Musk creates his own party, there's a chance that Donald Trump is going to have him leave the country. And if Elon Musk has to leave the country, he might not be able to take his $300 or $500 billion, with him. He's just going to have to go back to Africa where he came from. Without any money.
Without any money. So Rahman Mansoor say, I think I read that comment. And Fazan Flo is saying, through your podcast, what's the one core message you really want the world to hear? I guess that you should convict Jeffrey Epstein. That's the only thing. Not convict Jeffrey Epstein, the people who were on the Epstein client list. And in our thumbnail, we have Pam Bondi with the Epstein list, and she's running away, trying to protect him. Because Pam Bondi was the one who said that the Epstein list is on my table. And now she's saying that there is no Epstein
You know, there was a
list.
picture of Epstein in Bill Clinton's daughter's wedding. He was a guest over there. And then there's another picture I saw, Ehud Barak of Israel, ex-PM, I think. He was in his residence entering. So all of these people, you know, maybe Obama is also there. Maybe Biden is also. Biden would definitely be in those files because he's such a lover of kids.
Clinton was definitely there. Actually, Jeffrey Epstein had in his New York mansion or apartment, whatever you used to call it, he had this picture of Bill Clinton in a female dress. And that was hanging when you just entered his place. It was hanging. Maybe it was like a power move that Jeffrey Epstein did, because this is this famous American president, and he's sitting in a dress, and Jeffrey Epstein has a picture of him. So Joe Rogan was saying that I'd buy Jeffrey Epstein's house, but just give me that picture as well, because they're not giving away that picture. So that is like the real depth.
You know that this cult that woman was talking about. You know, you know, I don't know if it's the Freemasons or whatever cult there is. These people actually bring in all these people, and they take away their souls. They make them pledge, and they make them say that there is no God, and you know, money is everything, and you know, that type of they create those, you know, things. Can you tell your audience something about that also?
Yeah, it's the Freemasons are like these sort of people. I mean, this has been going on for a long while, because there's this pride in humanity that some of the people, some of the humans that are in this world, they believe that they are above everyone else. And they really want to control the minds. And these Freemason guys, these Rockefeller guys, were the ones to really, what you can say, control the whole banking system, enslave all these people. They were the one who like started these world wars. They were the financiers. When you hear about these first few Freemasons who were going around roaming the world, these evil people really believed in this evil entity that was giving them powers. Now, most of us good guys don't really believe in our own God, and we don't believe that God gives us powers, and we don't pray, or we don't live a pious life most of the time. But these evil people, they're hell-bent on doing these rituals. And Kabbalah is this thing which is much known in what you can say, the Jewish, it's like a Jewish scripture which has all these dark spells and this magic. And these Freemasons were the ones who like built like these buildings, like the Temple of Solomon. Why is that so important? Because Temple of Solomon is not just a building, and just like the Pyramid of Giza, it's not just a pyramid. With the dimensions, there's like hidden meanings in the dimensions of these buildings, and it's like really fascinating that the way the Freemasons stored their knowledge was by constructing these buildings, and it became a cult which has this following of this elite people, billionaires who are like roaming around the world, and they're doing these rituals, and they're joining this cult. And then now
it's like
yeah, and then they have to do things for the Freemasons, and that's how these things go on. Yeah, what were we saying?
Like most people would just think that this is just a conspiracy theory and that these things don't actually exist, but they do. And Freemason is, and this Zionism, these are actual organizations and they're registered and they have followings all over the world. They have their offices in many big cities of the world, and they they are actually the kingmakers. They think of themselves as the kingmakers, and that's the way they do it. They recruit these people, they call them in these buildings, and and then they take them through these rituals and these steps, and so many movies also telling us about these things. But we were always thinking that maybe this is just conspiracy and it's not true, but it is. That's the basic thing.
Yeah, we know all these big Freemasons, these Rothschilds. One of the Rothschild is still alive, and he's like this amazingly rich person. So let's go to a few comments. What Abdullah Khan is saying, वही तो बात है भाई, ये तो लिस्ट है और सब छुपे हैं, या फिर मैक्सवेल को स्केपगोट बनाया गया है, दोनों सूरत में सिस्टम ही एक्सपोज हो रहा है. Yes, I'm like really literally laughing, sitting, seeing the demise of Donald Trump and the United States government because of this whole shenanigans. I mean, it's been such a mess for Donald Trump and his team, because he was the one complaining about everything, and now when it comes back to bite Donald Trump, he's like now crying, and he's like, please don't talk about Jeffrey Epstein. And that is like, it's a lose-lose situation for Donald Trump, and it's only going to go downhill from this point onwards. So Sidra is saying, Abdullah Bhai, the client list vanished into thin air, and Maxwell ended up in jail. The system shifted the blame, and the public was further misled.
Right.
And Maxwell, Abdullah Bhai, yes. So that's a great comment from Sidra. And Rehman Mansoor says, true Sidra. And Dana Sultan says, hey Wali.
Dana. I think it's Dana. Dana Sultan.
Dana Sultan. Hey Wali, Miss Anila and everyone, I'm feeling so happy again, coming back after so many days. And
hi to you too also.
And seeing the same faces and the names, that truly made my heart so happy. Wow. And so they're saying, hey Dana Sultan, welcome. Thank you all of you guys for being at our live streams, enjoying our content and watching every bit of it. And we appreciate each and every single one of our viewers and our fans. So Dana is also saying, does transparency mean holding only ordinary people accountable, or the elites too? You're very right, because what we see all over this world, this interesting fact that there's one law for the rich and there's another law for the poor, because these rich people can go around abusing minor children and no one is like really bothered, and the President of United States of America is trying to protect these people. How amazing is that? And that, I think that has been true for the rest of humanity and throughout the history, that the rich people, they have their own system that is not the system that people have. So Sana is saying, salam auntie, looking beautiful.
You're also very beautiful, Sana.
And she's saying, "Hey, Wali, I'm your biggest fan." Thank you, Sana. Thank you for being here. Sana is a repeat viewer, and she's always here, giving us these awesome comments on our streams. So we want to share you story. So we want you to share your story too someday. We fans are so curious about everything. Feels like we're about to turn into FBI agents. James Bond. Ta ta ta. So yeah, surely I'll share my story someday. It's going to be the best live stream that I ever do, and that day.
But the real thing, I think, is that we are all sitting here talking about geopolitics and global affairs. You know, that is so important. That is what's going to change our whole perspective, and that's very, it's really like very, I feel so happy to know that the youngsters, you guys are all interested in these things, and our national mainstream media, they are usually not talking about these things, and they just keep you entertained with Noon League fighting against People Party, and People Party fighting against PTI, and that's what they keep you your minds blocked with, and they never talk about these things, how the whole world is actually working. So that's very important.
That is really important, and that was a great point. And with that, I'm reading a few more comments. And Asma is saying, Sana, आप लोगों का जज्बा देख के लगता है अगला stream CIA और FBI दोनों monitor करेंगे. That was a very comment. So Saida was saying, how are you everyone? And we are all fine and beautiful, Sana is saying. And Maha Baloch is here, and she's saying, wow, I came after so many days and everyone's here. Much happy vibes. Amazing. Thank you, Maha, for being here. Maha, you are like our best of our fans, and thank you for coming to our live stream. And yeah, it's been a few days, and yesterday actually we were talking about this earlier, that we tried to do the same live stream, but it was raining so much and the light was going after every 5 minutes, so we couldn't, and we thought we'd do it today. Such a vibe. Don't you find a community like this anywhere else? Wali Wonders has turned into a real family. Yes, it feels like a family. And thank you. I respect and love my family, and I love all of you guys. And thank you for being here, and I much appreciate. And please do like, share, and subscribe. So, Rehman Mansoor is saying, yes, you are right, Maha. We should give some credit. We should give some credit to Miss Asma too for calling 100 times. And Ehsan is also saying, Momna is here. Momna is saying, Salam Ali Bhai. Salam Momna. Thank you for being here. She's also saying Salam Auntie. And
Walaikum Assalam.
she's saying, आंटी आपकी फ्रेश एनर्जी देख के लग रहा है हम तो 5 लाइंस याद करके ही कंफ्यूज हो जाते हैं के सैंडल तक उल्टी पहन लेते हैं. God bless you. And
God bless you too.
And Jennifer Myers is here. Y'all do. And Farooq Gilani is here. I just subscribed to this channel for the first time and joined in. Thank you, Farooq Gilani, for being here, watching our live episodes. And Rabia is here. And Farooq Gilani is saying, you have such interesting topics. I really like them. क्या ये सिर्फ इंसान का केस है या पूरे सिस्टम का एक्सपोजर है? क्या ये सिर्फ एक इंसान का केस है या पूरे सिस्टम का एक्सपोजर?
पूरा सिस्टम, अगर आप वॉर से इस चीज़ को देखो तो ये एक मुल्क के सिस्टम को एक्सपोज नहीं कर रहा, बल्कि ये पूरी इंटरनेशनल पॉलिटिकल फ्रेमवर्क को एक्सपोज कर रहा है. आई मीन दैट इज़ दैट डर्टी प्लेस. लाइक ये जो पूरी दुनिया को लिटरली आप कह लो कि इंसानियत को, ह्यूमैनिटी को एंस्लेव करके रखना। इसीलिए इन लोगों के लिए गज़ा में एवरीडे 70-80 लोगों को मार देना, एक जेनोसाइड को चलते हुए देखना, ये उनके लिए कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है। उनके लिए ये तो दिस इज़ एग्जैक्टली देयर ड्रीम कम ट्रू मे बी, because they are this cult of people who are criminal based mentality, you know. They are just, they love these
and you might hear this from Anila, but I'll give you the same point from this Republican senator, and he's giving a speech and he's saying, do you guys really think that Donald Trump, the pedophile president himself, was going to release the Jeffrey Epstein files? So let me just play that. And
promised to end the wars. He promised to release the Epstein files. Did anyone really think the sexual predator president who used to party with Jeffrey Epstein was going to release the Epstein files?
This is the United States.
I mean, straight out of a comic movie. So yeah, I'll play another video as well while we're playing these videos. So
was your closest friend.
Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein?
Yeah, Donald, we are still talking about Jeffrey Epstein. Why? Maybe it's because Epstein said he was your closest friend.
That was quite a straight.
Or that you repeatedly flew on Epstein's private jet. Or that you called Jeffrey Epstein a terrific guy who likes beautiful women as much as I do. And many of them are on the younger side. Or that your Secretary of Labor was the prosecutor who let Epstein avoid federal sex trafficking charges. Or that when Epstein's co-conspirator was arrested for facilitating the sexual abuse of minors, you said that
I just wish her well.
Or that Elon Musk, your biggest donor and White House senior advisor, said you were in the Epstein files. Or that your attorney general said,
breaking news right now, you're going to see some Epstein information being released. A lot of names, a lot of information.
Or that your FBI director said,
on day one, roll out the black book.
This doesn't look right. It doesn't look like a suicide.
Or that your deputy director of the FBI said,
that Jeffrey Epstein story is a big deal. These assets, that's why this blackmail story makes so much sense.
So, Donald, the reason everyone is still talking about Jeffrey Epstein is because Americans want answers.
Straight out of a Hollywood movie, it seems like. So, I mean, what can we say about this situation that is going on? And I mean, he is the pedophile president of United States. Why is Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, the director of FBI, and Donald Trump himself, and why are they trying to now hide the Epstein list? Because Kash Patel was like, I'll roll it out in the first day. And FBI, the head of FBI is saying that it's like a blackmail operation and it's like a Mossad operation. And that is where Tucker Carlson also comes in, because Tucker Carlson, like 2 days ago, he was on air and he was saying that Jeffrey Epstein is like a Mossad Israel agent asset. And American government is trying to protect the Israeli asset even after he's dead. Because, of course, Israel is not helping America. It's the other way around. America is sending all of these weapons and all of these billions of dollars towards Israel, and that's how they fund these great wars against Gaza, against Iran, and against Syria. And oh my God, I will show you the footage. Today, Israel has attacked Syria. I mean, that is just
Netanyahu was in Washington last week, I think, And all this news was that Israel is coming very close to the ceasefire, and talks are being like finalized and all that. And Netanyahu went to Washington, and then Trump was also saying this before he came, that ceasefire talks are going on, and I'm very hopeful, and it's going to be any time now. And then Netanyahu reached there, and then Trump started saying the opposite things. He said, yes, the people of Gaza don't want to live in Gaza. They would love to go away from there. We're going to make new houses for them and things like that. And then what happened actually? What did Netanyahu go there and do to this president who had promised his people that before he sits on his presidential chair, he will make sure that the Gaza war is over. So what did Netanyahu have those Epstein files or something like that? That he pulled the threads of, the strings of Donald Trump, and he totally, like a puppet, he turned over and he started saying the opposite things. So that's the way you know that, people are being controlled.
Yeah, that is like a great thing to say. And millions, let's show you another video.
As 14 years old. Donald Trump in 2002 said of Epstein, he's a lot of fun to be with. It's even said that he likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side.
He routinely spoke fawningly of Jeffrey. He admired Epstein's lifestyle.
Your daughter, she's beautiful. Can I say this? A piece of it.
Yeah. She's actually always been very voluptuous.
What does Tiffany have of Marlon's?
She's got Marlon's legs. We don't know whether or not she's got this pregnant.
You were playing tennis and you came off the court. Quote, look at that piece of I would love some of that. It so happened that Trump was referring to Cohen's then 15-year-old daughter, Samantha.
I had the impression that he was interested in younger women and that, women would age out for him.
Miss Teen Universe? Yeah, that's like giving Jeffrey Dahmer a cooking show.
I'll go backstage before a show, and everyone's getting dressed and ready and everything else. And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it. I stayed there with no clue.
Donald Trump is heard making questionable comments about a young girl.
You're going up the escalator? I'm going to be dating her in 10 years.
A lawsuit against the presumptive GOP nominee alleges he raped a girl when she was 13 years old.
Prince Andrew answering questions for the first time about his friendship with convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein.
I don't know Prince Andrew, but it's a tough story.
Trump has been photographed with Prince Andrew as far back as the year 2000.
Ghislaine Maxwell is accused of helping Epstein sexually abuse underage girls.
I've met her numerous times over the years, especially since I lived in Palm Beach, and I guess they lived in Palm Beach. But I wish her well.
You know about sexual predators and things like that. I mean,
you are one.
All right, I was going to say that.
Oh my God. So it's the Harvard Stern show in which Trump is talking about. He's saying, we're talking about sexual predators. Well, you are one. And the thing about Donald Trump is that he was living this extravagant, lavish life. And he was doing all of these amazing things, not really amazing, he was heinous things, and he was abusing young women, and he had this beauty pageant, Miss World, that we all used to see back in the days, and he was abusing those girls as well, because when these girls were in their locker rooms, Donald Trump just went. And these girls were being harassed by Donald Trump. And he was doing all of these things, and he was a billionaire, and it was perfectly fine. Until what happens, that Donald Trump decides to become the president. And now all of the eyes are on him. And it's Donald Trump himself as well. He said in his first term as president that why? Because everyone was suing Donald Trump for something at that time, as soon as he became the president. So he took this pressure on himself that he was going to, what you can say, go to run for the second term as well. And when he ran for the second term, now all hell has broken loose. And it's like a circus, a clown show, that is happening in United States of America.
You know what? We used to, many people who are impressed by the Western, countries and the cultures, we used to say that the moment something wrong happens in any department in these countries, the chief of that department immediately resigns, and he says that, okay, let the inquiry go on.
Attorney General Pam Bondi.
That I am not guilty, I will come back to my seat, and for that amount of time I'm going to step down from that power. And also you remember Bill Clinton was impeached because they found something between him and Monica Lewinsky. And he had to leave the office. So what's happened to America now? Why does the United States Department of Justice and the whole parliament, everybody knows that the president is a pedophile and nobody is putting their hand on him? Instead of that, they are all protecting. So what has happened to the American culture? So what has happened to the American society? And what has happened to their value system?
But has Donald Trump messed with someone who is really influential and powerful? Because all of the media is calling Donald Trump a pedophile. And usually when something like this happens, also I want to do this in Urdu because we've been talking for so long and we have all these people.
I feel like that the newcons or the deep state or the Pentagon, whatever, they don't want these wars to end, and Trump wants to end these wars because it was his promise, and he wants the Nobel Prize or whatever. So मुझे तो यही लगता है कि these people are really harassing him now and getting on his nerves कि जो हम कह रहे हैं, जो हमारी policies हैं, उनके ऊपर चलो और ये peace की बातें जो है ना वो छोड़ दो, something like that.
पीस की बातें और क्या हमें डोनाल्ड ट्रंप अब पसंद आ भी रहा है, क्योंकि डोनाल्ड ट्रंप आया तो था जंगें ख़त्म करने के लिए, और डोनाल्ड ट्रंप जो है वो इस बेस के ऊपर उसने मुसलमानों से वोट लिया जो कि अमेरिका में मुसलमान है कि मैं इज़राइल और फ़लस्तीन की जंग एंड करूँगा, मैं मुसलमानों के ऊपर जो जहाँ भी पूरी दुनिया में मज़ालिम हो रहे हैं उनको मैं जो है ना रोल बैक करूँगा, उन जंगों को मैं ख़त्म करने की कोशिश करूँगा. मगर एज सून एज वी सी दैट ही कम्स इन द ऑफिस, he starts the biggest wars. So if you gave me the choice between Biden and Kamala Harris and Donald Trump, I would definitely at that time I would have gone for Donald Trump because he seemed like the better option. But is he acting like the better option? मुझे तो नहीं लग रहा, because he's acting like the worst president. He's starting the biggest wars.
Yeah. He's attacked Iran already, और अभी just under his nose what's happening, जो अभी आपने बताया भी कि सीरिया के ऊपर बॉम्बिंग की है इसराइल ने आज, और वहाँ पर जो द्रूज कबीला है, जो अशरा जो गवर्नमेंट में इस वक्त है सीरिया के अंदर, वो उनको कंट्रोल करने की कोशिश कर रहा था, बिकॉज हर कबीले और हर जगह पर मिलिशियाज बनी हुई हैं, और शरा जो है वो ख़ुद भी एक मलेशिया का ही लीडर था. बहरहाल वो अब हुकूमत उसने बनाई हुई है और वो कंटेन करना चाह रहा है. बहुत सारे मिलिटेंट जो कैंप्स हैं वहाँ पर उनके साथ उसकी डील्स हो गई हैं, जो उसके साथ मिल गए हैं और उसके साथ मिलकर वो हुकूमत बनाने के लिए रेडी हैं. लेकिन कुछ ऐसे मिलिटेंट ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस होंगी जो अभी भी रेजिस्ट कर रही हैं. उनमें से एक दुरूज़ कबीला है, और जैसे ही शरा की जो लोग हैं उन्होंने उन पर हमला किया, आर्मी तो मैं नहीं कहूँगी,
and wants to testify before Congress, but Republicans haven't asked her to do so, a source told the Daily Mail. Cowards, frauds, and
इजराइल अपने आप को क्या समझता है कि इजराइल अपने आप को क्या समझता है कि वो जब उसका दिल चाहे लेबनान के अंदर जाके बॉम्बिंग कर सकता है, जब उसका दिल चाहे यमन में आके बॉम्बिंग कर सकता है, जब भी उसका दिल चाहे तो वो इराक में आके सीरिया में आकर बॉम्बिंग कर सकता है. उसको रोकने वाला कोई नहीं है. वो अपनी हर हरकत को प्रूव करता है कि दे आर द राइट पीपल एंड दे आर द लेजिटिमेट पीपल, दे आर द बिगेस्ट डेमोक्रेसी एंड व्हाट नॉट. और ये वो नहीं कहते अपने मुंह से कभी भी कि वो दुनिया के सबसे बड़े जेनोसाइडर्स हैं. वो ये नहीं कहते कि वो दुनिया के सबसे बड़े एपार्थाइड करने वाले लोग हैं और बच्चों को मारने वाले और सारे सबसे बड़े वो कौम जो कि लॉज ऑफ जो वॉर है उसको हमेशा एवरी डे पामाल करते हैं। यूनाइटेड नेशंस की जो लॉज हैं, एथिक्स ऑफ वॉर्स के नाम से उन्होंने बहुत बड़े बड़े वो डॉक्यूमेंट्स बनाए हुए हैं जिसमें वो बताते हैं कि भाई किसको आप अटैक कर सकते हो, किसको नहीं कर सकते, बच्चों के साथ कैसे करना है, वुमेन के साथ कैसे करना है, फूड का बारे में उनकी लॉज हैं, हर चीज़ के लॉ हैं जो कि हर एक लॉ को, हर एक एथिक को चुन कर बारी बारी यानी कि एवरी डे इजराइल उनको ब्रेक करता है और ब्रीच करता है। और वो फ़ख्र से कहते हैं कि हमने इनको पूरी की पूरी कौम को ही नीस्तो नाबूद कर देना है और हमने गज़ा को खाली। अब जो रीसेंट आपको पता है ना कि 2 दिन पहले इनके एक पार्लियामेंटेरियन ने क्या कहा है कि हम रफ़ा को एक ह्यूमैनिटेरियन जोन बना देते हैं, वो छोटा सा रफ़ा, और उसमें सारे गज़ा के जो 22 लाख लोग हैं वो वहाँ जमा कर देंगे और वहीं पर से, और रफ़ा बिल्कुल वो जगह है जो कि सिनाई डेजर्ट से लगी हुई है, यानी इजिप्शियन बॉर्डर के साथ जुड़ी हुई वो जगह है, और वहाँ से वो उनको ईज़िली वहाँ से धक्का देके बाहर सिनाई डेजर्ट के अंदर धकेलेंगे। ये उनका अब ये लेटेस्ट प्रोग्राम है। जबकि एक तरफ सीज़ फायर की बातें चल रही हैं, एक तरफ सऊदी अरब और इजिप्ट और जॉर्डन, ये लोग इनके हर आए दिन बयान आते रहते हैं। इवन ट्रंप भी कहता रहा है कि सीज़ फायर बिल्कुल करीब है, बड़ा हम इनकरेजमेंट फील कर रहे हैं, बहुत करीब आ गया है, किसी भी वक्त मैं ऐलान कर दूंगा, ये ट्रंप कहता रहा। और अब एकदम से उनकी तरफ से इतनी नेगेटिव बयान आ जाता है, वो कहते हैं हम रफ़ा को ह्यूमैनिटेरियन कॉरिडोर बना लेते हैं, दैट मीन्स कि पूरा गज़ा खाली कर देंगे, सारे लोगों को रफ़ा में जमा कर देंगे, तो क्या होगी वो ज़िंदगी। वो एक छोटा सा एक पोर्शन है गज़ा का। सो अगेन कमिंग बैक टू एप्स्टीन, के एप्स्टीन और गिलेन मैक्सवेल और रॉबर्ट मैक्सवेल वो लोग थे जिन्होंने वो सिंडिकेट बनाया पूरा, जिसने इन सब एलिट्स को, जिन्होंने बाद में प्रेसिडेंट्स बनना था, प्राइम मिनिस्टर्स बनना था, बड़े बड़े बिजनेस के वो थे, इन सब को उन्होंने पहले अपनी वो जन्नत में ला के और ख़ूबसूरत और कबाब और शबाब एंड व्हाटएवर वो सब करवा के उनको टोटली फ्रेम कर लिया हुआ है। एंड नाउ दे ऑफर देम कि अब तुम प्रेसिडेंशियल उसके लिए खड़े हो जाओ। तो वो किसी अच्छे इंसान को कभी भी ये मौका नहीं देंगे कि आप आओ और जी प्रेसिडेंशियल उसके लिए फ़ाइट करो, नॉमिनेट नहीं करेंगे किसी। तो ये होता है डेमोक्रेसी में। हमारे मुल्क में भी आप देख रहे हो कि सबसे जो अमीर और सबसे करप्ट तबका होता है, उनमें से किसी को चुन लिया जाता है कि आप खड़े हो जाएं और मतलब तकरीरें करना शुरू कर दें,
क्योंकि वो कंट्रोल चाहते हैं आम पॉपुलेशन के ऊपर। वो चाहते हैं जैसे कि अगर पैट्रिक बेट-डेविड एक और यूट्यूबर है, वो कहते हैं कि वो इंश्योरेंस इंडस्ट्री में, और इंश्योरेंस जो है वो अमेरिका के अंदर हंड्रेड्स ऑफ थाउजेंड्स ऑफ डॉलर्स की लोगों की इंश्योरेंस होती है, और उसके ऊपर कमीशंस 5-10% जो है बहुत बड़े कमीशंस हो जाते हैं। तो इस $100,000 $200,000 डॉलर के पीछे लोग ब्लैकमेल ऑपरेशंस करते हैं। एक इंश्योरेंस कंपनी वाला दूसरे इंश्योरेंस कंपनी वाले को बुलाता है और उसकी किसी माइनर लड़की के साथ वीडियो बना लेता है, फिर वो उसको ब्लैकमेल करता है कि तुम अपने क्लाइंट को छोड़ दो और मुझे उसकी जो है लेने दो। एंड दैट इज़ जस्ट द इंश्योरेंस इंडस्ट्री, जिसके अंदर थोड़े बहुत पैसे इन्वॉल्व हैं और एक छोटा सा कमीशन इन्वॉल्व है। और नाउ वी टॉकिंग अबाउट the whole global system, and if I was going to run for the president, I would make sure that I was never doing anything suspicious, even especially in front of the cameras, but when the cameras are even off, even then I wouldn't do. But what we see in this Jeffrey Epstein case, that people were like, all these influential people were running towards this guy. Maybe they wanted to be blackmailed. Maybe वो होता है ना कि अगर तुमने ग्रुप ज्वाइन करना है तो तुम्हें फ़लाँ बंदे को मारना पड़ेगा, या तुमने ग्रुप ज्वाइन करना है तो तुम्हें ये गंदी हरकत करनी पड़ेगी, और फिर वो उसकी एविडेंस रख लेते हैं ताकि पूरी ज़िंदगी वो एक ब्लैकमेल ऑपरेशन चलाते रहें। और मज़े की बात देखिए, ब्लैकमेल ऑपरेशन जो है वो अमेरिका की अपनी गवर्नमेंट या अपनी CIA, अपना उनके एजेंसीज़ FBI अपने लोगों के ऊपर नहीं चला रहे, वो इज़राइल की एजेंसी मुसाद अमेरिका के अंदर चला रही है। And that is the point I wanted to say earlier as well, that Tucker Carlson came in and he said that why are we protecting, because America is giving all the money, America is giving all the weapons to Israel, and they're waging all these big wars against all the Muslims. All the Middle East is burning down right now. And then Israel also has the wisdom and the balls to go into America and do blackmail operation on the US politicians as well. And now when Tucker Carlson and all of these other MAGA people and all the American rational people are asking to release the Jeffrey Epstein list, now they're trying to protect the Mossad Israeli agent. So this country is taking money. They're begging for money from the Americans, and then they're doing their blackmail operation on the politicians, and now the politicians are trying to protect.
No, but it's like the Mossad and CIA and the Pentagon, they're all together in this thing. Because that's the deep state neocons of the US who are in bed with the Mossad and Israeli leadership. And they want these wars, or they have this military complex thing, and this mentality of destruction. यहाँ से chaos theory भी तो निकलती है ना इन्हीं के लोगों में, because इनको लगता है कि जब कुछ भी अच्छा नहीं हो रहा तो और डिस्ट्रक्शन लेकर आओ, chaos लेके आओ, तो कुछ ना कुछ इसमें से अच्छा निकल आएगा. But I wanted to mention over here कि इसी से related मुझे लग रहा है कि like controlling the leadership, what is Macron going through at the hands of his own wife.
Yes.
Do you want to say something about it?
Yes, I've heard that Macron has been abused by his wife again recently in public, and it's like this real big operation, because Candace Owens was the one. She had this $100,000 bet with this other guy, this other journalist, that the wife of President Macron, what's her name? The wife's
Brigitte,
name?
I think.
Brigitte was not like a woman when she was born. She was a man. And when she was 40, she met this young child who was studying at the school in his class, and she transitioned at the age of 40 and then married Macron, and Macron then after years and years becomes the president of France. And Brigitte is not only a pedophile, but she's not a she, she's a he. And there's obvious the way she sits and the way she looks tells that she is like a man, and it tells you about a story of pedophilia, as well as it tells you, and yes, the interesting part. Now, Brigitte is suing Candace Owens. Brigitte is suing all of these other three reporters who actually went on and did this research on Brigitte, and they found no photos of her childhood. The only photo that Brigitte could come up with was the picture of her sister or something. And the school that Brigitte used to go when she was a boy, the school has refused to give any pictures, because Brigitte is the son or the daughter of this billionaire empire, chocolate empire, French chocolate empire. So
maybe Brigitte is also part of that Mossad ring or Epstein ring, controllers, freakers.
Maybe, but the most interesting part is that Brigitte did this case against all these journalists who were going on and saying these things, and in the French court, the journalist just won. Like this is like a week ago, I guess, that in the court, Brigitte couldn't prove that she was a woman.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
That is like we used to like be still many people in our own country. हम लोग इतना इम्प्रेस होते हैं वेस्टर्न कल्चर से और हम कहते हैं जी बड़ी तरक्की उन्होंने कर ली है, लेकिन आई थिंक सो कि मटेरियल वेल्थ और मटेरियल जो बड़ी बड़ी हाई फाई बिल्डिंग्स बना लेना और बड़े बड़े यानी मैंशंस और यू नो वो तरक्की नहीं है. तरक्की तो वो है ना कि आप इंसानियत की एक बेहतर मॉरल ग्राउंड, एक हायर मॉरल ग्राउंड पे आप आ जाओ, एक हायर यानी आप बेहतर इंसान बनो, वो तरक्की होनी चाहिए. उसको लेबल करना चाहिए एज अ तरक्की, नॉट दिस कि आपने कितने बिलियंस ऑफ डॉलर्स अपने अकाउंट में डाल दिए. वो तरक्की नहीं है. और उस तरक्की ने क्या किया कि पूरी ह्यूमैनिटी को एनस्लेव किया है, पूरी ह्यूमैनिटी को बिलो पॉवर्टी रखा हुआ है. और जब हम अमीर होने की बात करते हैं ना तो हमें ये नहीं समझ में आता कि हम कितने लोगों को अपने से गरीब कर रहे हैं. और लाइक रियली मुझे तो घिन आती है. आई मीन जब मैं इस तरह की खबरें हम लोग सुनते हैं. और वी शुड ट्राई कि हमारे माशरों में एक बेहतर सेंस प्रिवेल करे, हमारे फैमिलीज़ में, हमारे बच्चों में एक हायर मॉरल ग्राउंड हम प्रीच कर सकें, उनको बता सकें कि अच्छा क्या है, बुरा क्या है. और दुआ करें कि भाई यही जो हमारे बच्चे हैं, हमारी नस्लें, जब ये उस लेवल पर आएँ, जब वो बड़े बड़े ऑफिसेस में हों, बड़ी बड़ी पोस्टों पे हों, तो उनके अंदर एक वो मॉरल सेंस और एक यू नो स्ट्रेंथ कैरेक्टर, स्ट्रेंथ ऑफ कैरेक्टर हो. और मतलब दैट्स द ओनली वे कि हम इस सिस्टम को ब्रेक कर सकते हैं जिसमें यू नो कोई भी अच्छे लोग जो हैं वो आपको पावर में नज़र नहीं आते. मतलब वी आर ऑलवेज यानी कंप्लेनिंग अबाउट एवरी पॉलिटिशियन एंड एवरी you know chief of all these big organizations and all that. So that's the only way I think कि हम preach करें, एक दूसरे को बताएं, बैठें, बात करें और अच्छे और बुरे को define करें और अल्लाह ताला से दुआ करें. ये बड़ी एक famous दुआ है actually गज़ाली की, जो उन्होंने अपने बुक में लिखी थी कि या अल्लाह मुझे जो अच्छा है ना वो अच्छा दिखा और जो बुराई है वो मुझे बुराई की तरह दिखा, ताकि मैं अच्छाई को समझ सकूं और अच्छाई के रास्ते पे चल सकूं. क्योंकि जो बुरे लोग होते हैं ना उनको बुरी चीज़ें अच्छी नज़र आ रही होती हैं और वो अपनी तरफ से एक किसी अच्छे ही रास्ते पे चल रहे होते हैं, लेकिन उनको यू नो डिफ्रेंसिएशन ही ख़त्म हो जाती है उनकी.
You're right about that. And with that, we'd like to go to a few comments as well. So Wahab is waving, Isha Ansari is waving, Laiba Akram is saying, hey Wali Wonders, hello everyone, hello to you Laiba too. And Isha, Dante Hell is here, he's saying hello. And Laiba is saying, I just came here for the first time and subscribed to your channel. And thank you Laiba so much for being here, for subscribing our channel and for watching us live and commenting. We love and appreciate each single one of you guys, and it's like always such a big pleasure doing these live streams for you guys. And Momna Waheed is saying welcome Laiba, and Momna Laiba is saying wow, got a warm welcome the moment I joined. So, everyone's so active, really impressive. And Imanullah is waving and saying salam wali bhai, wassalam, walaikum salam, Imanullah. And he's also saying Miss Anila and wave and heart. And Sayyid Huzafa is waving, Maheen is here, she's waving. And Maha Baloch, she's here and she's asking Shivaji. Shivaji hasn't returned to our streams lately. I don't know why. Maybe we need to do something against Modi. Modi जी को जो है ना, मैंने काफ़ी दिनों से उनकी बेइज्जती नहीं की. मोदी जी एक्चुअली चुप बैठे हुए ना, इसलिए उनकी बेइज्जती नहीं हो रही. तो जिस दिन मोदी जी की हम बेइज्जती करेंगे उस दिन शिवा जी ज़रूर आएंगे. And Asma Munir is laughing. Asma Munir is saying शिवा जी तो नेटफ्लिक्स के सीज़न में खो गया है. अब उनको मिलना मुश्किल है, नामुमकिन है. महाबलोच is saying सच्ची मैं भी ढूंढना चाहिए नेटफ्लिक्स. मैं भी ढूंढने चली नेटफ्लिक्स. And Saida Huzafa is saying Sayyid Huzaifa is saying, कब तक हम स्कैंडल्स को गॉसिप समझकर इग्नोर करते रहेंगे? शायद इस दफ़ा सवाल ये है कि एप्स्टीन कौन था, कि किस चीज़ को नॉर्मल समझ सवाल ये है कि हम किस चीज़ को नॉर्मल बना चुके हैं. That's like an interesting question. And
like normalization of these things. माशरे में,
माशरे के अंदर हो गई है और बहुत दुख होता है वैसे ये सारा देख के ना. Bushra Azim is saying, I'm here for the third time after so many days. Hope you guys haven't forgotten about me. Bushra, we haven't forgotten about you, and thank you for being here, listening to our live streams. And and Asma is saying, exactly, Miss Anila, well said.
Thank you,
मोदी जी की बेइज्जती फिर जरूरी है. मोदी जी स्पेशल होना चाहिए. शिवा जी को ढूंढने में मेरी हेल्प करे सब. शिवा जी जो है उनको हम लोग तलाश कर रहे हैं. अगर शिवा जी हमारी बात कभी सुने तो वो हमारी नेक्स्ट लाइव स्ट्रीम में ज़रूर आए. और यस, वी आर गोना डू Modi special in just a few days, and it's going to be amazing. और इंडिया की बेइज्जती करने में जितना मज़ा आता है ना, और हिंदुओं की बेइज्जती करने में जितना मज़ा आता है उतना किसी और चीज़ में नहीं आता. So can we see the picture on the laptop? And this is a picture of Donald Trump and this little girl, and she's saying, "Mommy, it's the guy from the Epstein list." I hope that you guys find this picture funny. And this is actually Morgan Freeman. I don't know. Recently, I've noticed that Morgan Freeman is posting a lot of things.
Is that the real Morgan? Because there, many accounts people make.
It has a blue tick, but it might not be. It might not be the Morgan J. Freeman. And let's watch a few more videos, and then we can say.
You're going up the escalator? I'm going to be dating her in 10 years. Can you believe it?
Ivanka, what's the favorite thing you have in common with your father?
Either real estate or golf.
Donald, with your daughter?
Well, I was going to say sex, but I can't relate that.
And that's he's talking about her daughter. How is that even possible, Donald Trump? How could you be so filthy and disgusting? And people didn't have an issue. They were laughing with Donald Trump before, but now when he's the president, now people have suddenly grown conscious.
I've said that if you...
Let's watch another video.
We say hello with vagina. And
well, you could also say, as the owner of the pageant, it's your obligation to do that.
So you have done that. Now,
I'll tell you the funniest is that I'll go backstage before a show.
Yes.
And everyone's getting dressed and ready and everything else.
This is the video from the Harvard Stern show in which Donald Trump is telling how he used to harass the beauty pageants, Miss World competition, and all these women were changing their dresses, and he used to go there. And these women were completely harassed by this incident. And let's watch another video as well. This is 1992 flashback. Trump and Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell is partying together. It looks like they're having a good time. It looks like they're best buddies.
Trump is especially having, look at his face.
He's actually talking to him, talking in his ears. Oh, Jeffrey Epstein laughed so loud that he couldn't stand still. He had to go down and come back up. Oh my God. And then he's talking about releasing the Epstein list. I mean, these guys were like best buddies. And this is a photo of Donald Trump's daughter. We just showed you the video in which Donald Trump is like making sexual remarks on her daughter, and that's not just one time that he made these comments, multiple times. And she has a hat which says, "My dad's on the list." The Epstein list that they try to hide. And this is actually a video of a girl who was a minor, and I'll not show you the sound, but this girl is explaining how Donald Trump abused her when she was a minor, and Jeffrey Epstein was also there, and when she was crying to her friend about all the incident, Jeffrey Epstein actually said that you should be happy that someone like Donald Trump, as big as Donald Trump, abused you. I mean, does that even make sense? Can you really be abused and then be happy about it because it was Donald Trump who was doing the abuse?
Oh my God.
Oh my God, that is just disgusting.
Filthy.
Filthy.
Filthy mindset, cruel mindset. I mean, this is their politics, and
But yet, but time will.
even their, church.
Say that thousands.
Church is also having the same type of scandals. That the first case that came out of a few years back, that all these young boys, the little boys, who were went into the church and to become priests, they have boarding and lodging inside those churches, and these big popes and these big priests, they used to abuse them and do all those bad things with them. And these men, after 20 years, 30 years, when these boys have become men and they've grown old, and even I've seen videos of these old men who were crying on the videos, and they were saying that so many years and decades have passed, but we have not come out of that trauma. We are still feeling the pain and of all that thing that's happened. So how can anyone think that you're going to abuse somebody or do this rape thing or whatever, and then that person is going to forget that? That's not possible. I mean, that's against the nature. God has made a nature. आप God को नहीं मानते और फिर आप हर इस तरह की हरकतें करते हो, लेकिन God ने आपका ये एक नेचर बनाया हुआ कि आपको कोई इंसल्ट भी करते हैं ना वर्बली, तो आप वो सारी ज़िंदगी नहीं भूलते. तो फिर कजा ये कि आपको कोई टच करे और आपके साथ कुछ करे, तो आई मीन आपकी रूह कांप उठेगी कि मतलब सोचना भी नहीं आपके लिए पॉसिबल होता है कि यार ऐसा हो जाएगा हमारे साथ.
And it was the Pope that was doing the thingy. This is like a documentary that came out like a few years ago as well, which was nominated for Oscar award, and that was talking about all these high priests, and even the Pope was involved in some sort of abusing young boys. And that's been going on in the Catholic and this thing for a long while. So that's just truly disgusting. हमारे मौलवियों के भी बारे में कुछ ना कुछ बातें जो है ना लोग करते हैं वैसे, मगर let's not talk about that. So
but they don't, मतलब I don't know.
So let's watch this video. ये Tucker Carlson है, and he's I'll play the video and then I'll talk about it.
Thousands of children were raped, but I'm not going to find out who raped them.
Yeah.
How can you say that?
I agree completely.
They said that. By the way, when Pam Bondi went on television and said, I have a videotape of kids getting abused, I followed this case closely, and I know a lot of the people involved, as I told you. I had no idea. I didn't know that. Really? Thousands of children got raped?
Yeah.
Who raped them? Where are the rapists? Like, why aren't they in jail? This is the Department of Justice.
Yes.
That is so crazy. This is honestly one of the craziest things I've ever seen in my entire life. And I just think it's very dangerous to play around with this stuff. Like, very dangerous.
Well,
I don't want a revolution, but if you wanted a revolution, this is how you would act.
Yes, yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, for Tucker Carlson is like it's the biggest news, and he's like so disturbed. And it's not just us sitting all the way around the world who are being amused by this sort of things. Even the American population, the people who are saying,
in every society there are good people. I mean, अगर अच्छे लोग नहीं होंगे तो माशरा चल ही नहीं सकता। माशरा चलता है गुडनेस के ऊपर। अगर हर बंदा चोर है और हर बंदा झूठ बोल रहा है और हर बंदा गलत काम कर रहा है तो माशरा तो नहीं चल सकता, फिर तो वो जंगल का कानून बन जाएगा। तो माशरा चलता है अच्छे लोगों के बेस के ऊपर, अच्छाई के बेस के ऊपर, ट्रस्ट के बेस के ऊपर। और इसलिए आप ये समझ लो कि वेस्टर्न कल्चर्स में भी बहुत सारे लोग हैं जो कि वैल्यूज़ को समझते हैं, वैल्यूज़ के साथ एडहियर करते हैं, ऑल्दो के एज अ होल वो डिजेनरेट हो रहा है उनका सिस्टम, लेकिन हर माशरे में कॉन्शियस पीपल होते हैं।
एंड हर माशरे में कॉन्शियस पीपल होते हैं, मगर हर माशरे में पॉलिटिशियंस ऐसे होते हैं जिनके अंदर कोई कॉन्शियस नहीं होता और वो सारी गलत हरकतों में उनका टॉप में हाथ होता है। तो आई प्ले दिस वीडियो and this video is about from the Congress. Republicans just blocked the release of Epstein's files. They didn't flinch, they didn't hesitate, and they lined up and voted to keep the truth sealed. The client list is real, the cover-up is active, and the American people are watching. So let's see the Republicans passing the bill.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. No. In the opinion of the chair, the noes have it. The amendment.
So there's no audio. There's no audio in this video.
I will ask
but
the clerk will call the roll.
Audio hai.
Mrs.
But no, there's no audio.
no,
But this
Mr.
is just showing
Norman,
the people,
Mr. Roy,
all the Republicans who were signing the bill, and look at them.
No, Mr. Griffith.
They're like doing the most noble thing. They're acting like, they're looking like this guy is saying something else. They're counting, but yeah, they didn't hesitate. And I'll play another video.
Do you believe that he committed suicide? Because many don't.
No, he didn't. I don't believe he did. I believe that he was...
Do you believe that he committed suicide? Because many don't.
No, he didn't. I don't believe he did. I believe that he was murdered.
So this is the video I showed you of Ghislaine Maxwell, Robert Maxwell's daughter, and the crime and partner of Jeffrey Epstein. And she believes that Jeffrey Epstein was murdered. And she's crying while giving the interview from her jail. And let's watch another video as well.
So I need the dump. Just give me dump.
It's fun. So you probably know he had a scalp reduction. Because he had the same, he'd say, Michael, come on, let's go to the office.
I mean, yes, and this is the picture of Bill Clinton, which we're showing on the left, and he's wearing a blue dress. And this picture was essentially in Jeffrey Epstein's, what you can say, in his New York home. This picture was right in the middle of his sitting place where he used to call all these influential people. And the post says, Epstein's top two clients. And it's showing Bill Clinton and Bill Gates. And
oh my God.
Yeah, this is really insane. And Bill Gates' wife actually divorced him because he was meeting Jeffrey Epstein after he was convicted. Bill Gates actually met Jeffrey Epstein like almost 8 to 9 times after he was convicted, after he was proven that he was a rapist and a child molester. And were they discussing business? And what sort of a business were they discussing? That is like really, really important. And Bill Gates used to be the world's richest man. I mean, till recently, other billionaires became much richer, but Bill Gates was the original guy who created Microsoft, and he created the operating system for Windows, and he became very, very, very rich. And he is the top guy on Epstein's file list. So it doesn't only go to the politicians. It goes to all these elite businessmen as well. And this is a post of Donald Trump, and he says, "I don't always rape children, but when I do, I tell everyone to forget about it." Such a funny post. So this video I want to show you. This is a video of today.
And in terms of the credibility of the different
in this
things
video,
that they've seen, and I would say that, you know, these files were made up by Comey, they were made up by Obama, they were made up by the Biden, we went through years of that with the Russia hoax, with all of the different things that we had to go through. We've gone through years of it, but she's handled it very well, and it's going to be up to her. Whatever she thinks is credible, she should release. Yeah.
So finally, Donald Trump comes and he says that release the files, whatever she thinks, because there's so much heat, and the presidency, his midterm elections are on the risk because he's not wanting to release the Epstein files and the Epstein client list, and he's protecting the rapist. And this post that I'm showing you is showing you who will be the first to ask him about the ongoing issues with his hand. Before departing to Pittsburgh, Trump spoke with reporters, and TV poolers zoomed in on his hands. Now these hands, they show that Epstein is like really, sorry, not Epstein, Donald Trump is going through some real, what you can say, health issues as well. And maybe not, he's not going to even survive because of the stress, and so much is hanging on Donald Trump's shoulders. And because of that, now he's like, okay, Pam Bondi, whatever you want to do. But that is going to be even worse. If you just put out some selective information, that is totally going to decimate Donald Trump, because then people will know that, yeah, these 10 people that we knew about, 5 of them have all this information and all these pictures and all these audios, and then these 5 people, other 5 people who were also with Jeffrey Epstein, but they were in the Republican Party. So Trump now decides that they shouldn't be convicted, and there's no talk about them in the Epstein list. So Mr. Donald Trump, if I'm pretty sure he will never listen to this live stream, but if you ever do, don't make this mistake to release only parts of the Epstein list, because that is going to be more detrimental. They could have just said that delayed things like they always do, like the President of America was assassinated, JFK, John F. Kennedy, and it's been like 70 years. Every few months they come up and they say that they're going to release the files, and then a few months go by and then they say this again, and this going on for 70 years. So why did Trump not didn't delay this thing? Why couldn't he say that I'm going to release the Epstein files just in like 3-4 months? And then after 3 months, he could have said that I'll release the files, but after 3 months. But on the other hand, he went in and he said that I'm not going to release the files. And there are no files. Now, that was a suicide mission in itself. That was Trump's biggest mistake, I guess. Right. And there's this picture of Ghislaine Maxwell, and she's holding this card, and it's written, "If there's no client list, why am I in jail?" So, would you like to add something for our audience? And
client list.
Client list. So, yeah.
Well, I don't have the words really to comment even on this, and everybody, you know, हम लोगों के तो मॉरल और एथिक्स जो है इस चीज़ को अलाउ नहीं करते कि हम अपनी फैमिलीज़ में बैठकर इस तरह की बातें भी करें या इस तरह के इश्यूज़ को डिस्कस भी करें. लेकिन we are actually living in a very dirty world, and dirty people and bad things are happening all around us. And what we need to do now is we need to strategize how to protect our own selves and our own children and our own families and our own neighborhoods and our own, fellow citizens from this Scrooge of, filth जो कि pour in हो रही है हमारे माशरे में, किसके through, TikTok के through, social media के through, all those, so many different social media apps and all those platforms are showing really, really bad things to the younger generation, and there's nobody to stop them, because every child who is even in the 4th grade or 5th grade, they have their own mobiles, they have their own internet, facility, and they can go on and watch everything. And the more you watch the filthy things, the more it becomes normalized for you, and you become more accepting for all those bad things. So how can we, मतलब हमारे दीन ने क्या सिखाया हमें कि भाई आपने बुरी चीज़ को देखना ही नहीं है, यानी आपने अपनी नज़रों को नीचे रखो, तो वो क्या था? That was the only way to save your spirit.
The president is expected to die in August 2020.
Because once you start looking at it, then your mind is going to go to the wrong direction. तो मेरा तो ये मैसेज है कि ये सब कुछ हो रहा है दुनिया में और ये सच है, और हमने अपने आप को बचाना है, और हमने एक बेहतर इंसान बन के और एक बेहतर कौम बनकर जो है ना वो अपने आप को सिक्योर करना है, ताकि हमारे आने वाले बच्चे जो हैं, नस्लें जो हैं, वो किसी बेहतर फुटिंग पे हो, कि एक बेटर मॉरल ग्राउंड के ऊपर खड़ा हो. अगर हम इन चीज़ों पे गौर नहीं करेंगे और हम इस चीज़ को नॉर्मलाइज होने देंगे, तो फिर व्हाट डू यू एक्सपेक्ट? ये आज का माशरा, उसमें कितनी ख़राबियाँ हैं, तो आज से एक जनरेशन आगे, 2 जनरेशन या 3 जनरेशन आगे क्या मॉरल्स रह जाएंगे, क्या वैल्यूज़ रह जाएंगे? वही सब कुछ जो कि वेस्ट आज फेस कर रहा है, वही सब कुछ हम लोग भी फेस करेंगे. सो ये जो हमारे रिलीजियस रिस्ट्रिक्शंस हैं, या हमारी कल्चरल नॉर्म्स हैं, या हमारी सोसाइटल फैमिली सिस्टम है, इसको कैद नहीं समझें हम लोग, बल्कि इसको अपने लिए एक ब्लेसिंग समझें. आई थिंक सो.
ऑफ कोर्स हमें अपने जो है ना फैमिली और मॉरल्स, और ये हमें अंडरस्टैंड करने की बहुत ही इम्पॉर्टेंट टॉपिक है कि जो आपकी फैमिली होती है, जो आपके रिश्ते होते हैं, वो किसी भी पैसे से आप रिप्लेस नहीं कर सकते. और आप जितने मर्ज़ी सक्सेसफुल हो जाओ, क्योंकि हम लोग इन बड़े बड़े लोगों की कहानियाँ सुनते हैं, और उनको वो 70 साल 80 साल के हो जाते हैं, उनको डेमेंशिया हो जाता है, और फिर जितने भी उनके पास बिलियंस एंड बिलियंस ऑफ डॉलर्स हैं, वो उनको उस टाइम पे मदद नहीं करते. और ना ही उनके पास कोई बंदा आता है, ना कोई बच्चा उनको मुंह लगाता है, ना कोई उनका दोस्त उनको मुंह लगाता है, ना कोई उनका खैतर ख्वाह करने वाला कोई बंदा होता है. तो ऐसे लोग जो हैं वो बहुत ही एक अजीब मिजरेफुल लाइफ पूरी ज़िंदगी जीते हैं, पता नहीं किस चीज़ के लिए काम करते हैं. और एट द एंड ऑफ देयर लाइफ, जब उनको थोड़ा सा सुकून चाहिए होता है, जब उनको थोड़ी सी केयर चाहिए होती है, तो कोई भी बंदा स्टेप इन नहीं करता, बल्कि वही लोग स्टेप इन करते हैं जिन्होंने उनका फ़ायदा उठाना होता है. और एंड तक अगर आपके पास पैसा है, तो आखिरी दिन तक लोग आपको एक्सप्लॉइट करते ही रहेंगे. So with that, I want to read a few comments, and then I'm going to play a video, and then probably it's been like 2 hours that we've been doing this live stream, and it's been an amazing live stream. We have got all these people who are coming in, and hopefully you guys liked what we were doing today, what we were talking about today, and where were we? महाबलोच says मोदी जी की बेइज्जती फिर ज़रूरी है, शिवा जी को ढूंढने में मेरी हेल्प करें सब. आई थिंक आई रेड दोज कमेंट्स. मुझे शिवा जी की बेइज्जती करने में मज़ा आता है. we all do. And अब्दुल्ला खान is saying फाइल सील करने वाला और ट्रुथ रिवील करने वाला दोनों का असल चेहरा तब समझ आता है जब आप खुद उस सिस्टम का शिकार बन जाते हैं. मिस्टर नीला, आप बिल्कुल ठीक कह रही हैं. जब तक अच्छाई ज़िंदा है, तब तक सोसाइटी भी ज़िंदा है. जहाँ अच्छाई ख़त्म हो जाए वहाँ इंसान नहीं रहते, सिर्फ जंगल का कानून बच जाता है. Strong words, Asma.
बिल्कुल, exactly, Asma.
Tina is saying hello, waving to Wali Bandas. Thank you, Tina, for being here. Sophie Williams is here. She's saying hello. How are you, everyone? And hey,
We're
Tina and
good.
Sophia.
How are you, Sophia?
Sophia, thank you for being here. But actually, there are like 8 people watching us right now. Maybe we should continue for like another 10-15 minutes as well. And 21st Century Crisis is here. Miss Anila, well said. And Sophie Williams is saying, indeed, Miss Anila. Wahab is saying, yes, well said. लोग पैसों के पीछे अपने रिलेशनशिप और फ्रेंड्स को खो देते हैं. Actually, वो खुद को खो देते हैं.
Exactly. Right said.
Very well said, guys. That was like an amazing thing. And now I want to play a video of Donald Trump and
video.
Yeah, just a second. And this is like Simpsons. Simpsons is the cartoon that has been predicting about all this shenanigans, and most of their predictions are come true. And I don't believe in Simpson predictions, but this predictions look like this prediction looks like it's going to come true. So let's watch.
The president is expected to die in August 2025 after a severe chest illness. The Simpsons predicted it. A forgotten episode of The Simpsons, aired over 15 years ago, is now resurfacing, and it might be the show's most disturbing prediction yet. In the episode, a controversial president with bright orange skin, golden hair, and a volatile temper is shown walking alone through the White House. Suddenly, he clutches his chest, visibly in pain, and collapses during a live national broadcast. Panic erupts. Medical staff rush in. One shouts, "This wasn't just stress, this was a sign." Fast forward to 2025. Rumors swirl in Washington that the real-life president has been secretly suffering from chest pain and heart-related issues. Sources inside the government claim a major heart attack could occur in August this year. The resemblance to the episode is chilling, far too precise to dismiss. Stranger still, the episode was pulled from syndication. It disappeared from streaming services. Some believe it was deliberately hidden. The president is expected to die in August.
So yeah, August is not that far away. So Donald Trump is having chest pains and he's having anxiety and he's having some problems. And August is just like 15 days away. And Simpsons predicted that he was going to have this heart attack live on television. And I don't know, maybe it's like 15-20 days going to make up for good television. That's what Donald Trump says. If he dies in front of the TV, just collapses. That will prove one thing, that the Simpsons were right.
Right.
So, what do you think about Donald Trump's health, and do you think about the Simpsons cartoons?
Yeah. Well, you already said that, you know, many psychiatrists have been writing and journalists have been writing about his health for the last, 8 years, that he has a problem of dementia, he has a problem of narcissist, phobia, something like that, which is something that you just love yourself and you just think about yourself all the time, and you just, a person who is in love with himself or herself, how that person is going to wait for humanity, what will he do for humanity? Like, just think about that. तो ये भी एक मर्ज है, साइकाट्रिस्ट इसको भी एक इलनेस समझते हैं, और ये डोनाल्ड ट्रम्प के अंदर है, और इसके अलावा भी कुछ ऐसे मेंटल इश्यूज हैं जिसके बारे में वो कहते हैं कि ट्रम्प को हैं. और अब तो क्योंकि वो एज हो गया है, 79-80 का हो जाएगा विद इन फ्यू मंथ्स मे बी, तो 80 इयर्स का जो इंसान है वो अपनी बीमारियां उसकी वो बढ़ जाती हैं, कम नहीं हो रही होती. एज के साथ साथ आपको पता है बीमारियां और ज़्यादा आ रही होती हैं. और एक बंदा जो 80 इयर्स का हो जाए और वो डेस्परेट है कि उसको सब दुनिया उसकी तारीफ़ करे और उससे मोहब्बत का इजहार करे और नोबल प्राइज तो उसको नहीं मिलना, नोबल पीडोफाइल प्राइज.
The hashtag that is going on Twitter is hashtag pedo-Trump.
Oh God.
That is trending.
तो वो आदमी इस चीज़ को कैसे बर्दाश्त करेगा? Because he was here on the seat to boost us, you know, the most powerful man on earth and the president of the greatest nation and all that. Where does that go? I mean, a narrative उसका जो था वो तो सब बिल्कुल स्मैश हो गया है. तो you never know कि हार्ट अटैक से होगा या नर्वस ब्रेकडाउन से हो जाएगा कुछ.
Yes, he's been in a lot of stress. But the point is कि अगर डोनाल्ड ट्रम्प क्या चला जाता है तो उसकी जो रिप्लेसमेंट है वो क्या बेहतर होगी? क्या हमें कोई ऐसा बंदा नजर आता है पूरे अमेरिका में
नहीं
जो कि कोई भी पॉजिटिव स्टेप ले सकता हो? एटलीस्ट प्रेसिडेंट बनने से पहले डोनाल्ड ट्रम्प तो कह रहा था कि मैं सारी चीज़ें सही कर दूंगा. And after he's the president, he actually didn't go through any of his
vice
plans.
president भी तो वो है ना, DJ Vance.
DJ Vance,
who is a complete, you know, neocon and a complete, you know, mental person. I don't like him at all.
J.D. Vance.
J.D. Vance.
Yes, but Elon Musk was saying that Trump should resign and J.D. Vance should take over.
Now he's saying that, but when J.D. Vance is there,
then what's going to happen? And if Trump becomes the president, Elon Musk becomes the president.
How, without election? Then there's going to be a snap election for that.
Third party. He's making a third party.
मगर अभी तो 4 years रहते हैं ना, तो अगर president को कुछ होता है तो party अपना दूसरा nominate कर देती है ना, which will be J.D. Vance or somebody else. So
yeah. But I don't know. Maybe a part of me is thinking that the Trump thing is not going to last for a long time. But then again, I'm not so sure even if I want him to go, because who's going to replace him? Was Biden any better for the Muslims? And was Hillary any better? Was Clinton any better?
Nobody.
These people have been killing so many people, not just like 100. You know? Yes, you're right. In millions and millions, because
Afghanistan, mein, you know, 3 million plus people died in that 20 years, and CIA की जब आप खोलेंगे ना तो उसमें 2000 लिखा हुआ सिर्फ. People, Afghani people died in 20 years, जबकि उधर उन्हें 3 million से ज़्यादा लोगों को मारा है, और इराक के अंदर something like 4 to 5 million people were killed. और सीरिया में भी बेशुमार, मतलब हर जगह. तो ये लोग तो I mean they are mass murderers of humanity actually. And this genocide thing going on in Gaza, I mean that is their favorite movie. जैसे कि वो तो ख़त्म ही नहीं, वो तो उसको replay करते चले जा रहे हैं और उनका दिल ही नहीं चाह रहा कि ये movie बंद हो.
Do you want me to show what's happening in Syria and then we'll call
we should
Syria, अगर मैं let me just search that as well. Syria. And let's watch a few clips that have been going on. Syria bombing.
Syria bombing.
So in this post, it is written that Israel bombed Syrian army. They hit the 5th Armored Division in Israel. Israel has gone full psycho mode. They have bombed 4 nations. They're forcing the world into World War III. And this is the video that is showing they're attacking in night, and it's showing the bombs that are going off. And actually, let me get the keyboard. Actually, let me just go on. And Israel attacks Syria. Now, yeah, and this is some more footage from. This is a photo of them dropping bombs in the middle of the night. And I thought that this guy, I don't know his name, Shara, was like a Mossad agent or something, like a Mossad guy.
No. He's a middleman, actually.
He's a middleman?
He's a middle because he's the Arab countries are also backing him. Turkey is also backing him. Like he's the person who is making room for everybody. Europeans also visiting him all the time.
So this is the latest video. This is video from 15th. Let's just see. There's today's videos as well, but it shows like a bomb that is thrown off in the middle of the road. They've gone completely crazy. Why would you attack the Syrian military? And they actually destroyed the Syrian military when Shara came into power, because Shara could not just capture the presidency, and he could not just take over the office when Assad had so much army. And Israel came up with their bombers and they bombed all these air-to-surface anti-defense missile systems, and they bombed all their tanks and all their aircrafts, and that's how Shara became. The Israelis actually helped Shara get into power.
Yeah.
And now they're bombing the same guy?
They're not bombing Shara, they're just protecting the Druze, you know.
That's just bad. That's just bad. And with that, would we like to end?
I think so. 2 hours have gone.
End the live stream, and there are some comments that we missed. Sophia Williams is saying, indeed, Miss Anila. Thank you, Sophia, for being here, for listening to our live streams. And Bahab is saying, yes, well said. लोग पैसों के पीछे अपने relationship और friendship को भूल जाते हैं. I guess मैं पढ़ लिया. And Ahmed Munir is here. Ahmed Munir is saying, Salam Ali Bhai and Auntie. Thank you, Ahmed, for being here. Arnie is here. Arnie is waving. Sana is here. She's saying, well said. Ali Jabbar says, hello. Ali Jabbar says, sorry, I'm coming late today, but it's such an interesting topic. I'll listen to it again from the start once I'm free. And Israr is here. Israr is saying, hello. And Maheen is saying, well said, Miss Anila. I agree with your powerful points. And Chaudhry Bilal is waving, and Murtaza Ahmed is also here. He's saying, hello, everyone. So with that, it was like such an amazing live stream today. We talked about Jeffrey Epstein, we talked about Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, we talked about all this amazing facts, how Donald Trump was like the best friend, how Donald Trump was traveling in Jeffrey Epstein's private jet and they had photos together, how Donald Trump was inviting Jeffrey Epstein to Mar-a-Lago, and how they had these pictures, and I just showed you a video evidence from 1992, 33, 34 years back. Donald Trump was dancing with Jeffrey Epstein and he was cracking jokes and Jeffrey Epstein was laughing, falling to the floor, and it was such an amazing. And then we also explained how Donald Trump really, maybe he might not even survive longer, much longer. Maybe his presidency is also at risk. Maybe he's under a lot of stress and he has narcissistic disorders as well. So all these things that we discovered, it was such an amazing live stream. And thank you guys for being here. We'll be back soon, maybe not tomorrow, but day after tomorrow. And we'll try to be live on Saturday as well, because we realize that Saturday is a time when a lot of people are free and they want to watch our live episodes. And we were planning to do an episode on Doomsday. क़यामत के दिन के ऊपर आप लोग सारे तैयार हैं? बहुत डर आपको लगेगा और आप शायद साथ ही थोड़ा सा इस्लाम की तरफ भी वापस आएँ और एक दो नमाज़ें भी पढ़ लें उसके बाद, मगर हमें ये तो नहीं कोई प्रेडिक्ट कर सकता कि क़यामत कल के दिन आएगी, मगर ये हम कह सकते हैं कि क़यामत की निशानियाँ पूरी हो रही हैं और कुछ भी हो सकता है। मतलब कि अभी हमारे जो है इमाम मेहदी और दज्जाल और याजूज माजूज, ये तो सबसे एंड वाला काम है ना, वहाँ तक नहीं पहुँचे मगर हम लोग काफ़ी डूम्सडे सिनेरियो के करीब पहुँच गए हैं। डू यू वांट टू से समथिंग अबाउट डूम्सडे?
आई जस्ट वांट टू से कि ज़रूर उस एपिसोड को देखना है, उसमें हम काफ़ी इंफॉर्मेशन इकट्ठी करेंगे और रिलीजन के हिसाब से भी, साइंस के हिसाब से भी बात करेंगे और एवरीबडी शुड बी देयर। इट्स गोना बी एन इंटरेस्टिंग
It's going to be an interesting live stream. So with that, do you want to say some message to the people?
Yes, the message is plain and right from the heart कि हम अपने values को समझें, अपनी अच्छी चीज़ों को देखें, समझें, उनकी हिफाजत करें और अपने आने वाली नस्लों के लिए, अपने लिए भी इन चीज़ों को एक हायर मॉरल जो टेबल है, हायर मॉरल ग्राउंड को कायम करें और उसके ऊपर ख़ुद को भी कायम करें और उसको प्रीच करें हम एवरीडे लाइफ और अपनी प्रैक्टिकल लाइफ के थ्रू अपने दोस्तों के अंदर, अपने फैमिलीज़ के अंदर, अपने बच्चों के अंदर कि ये अच्छा क्या, अच्छी चीज़ क्या। बिकॉज़ यू नो इस्लाम में, कुरान में अब जब पढ़ोगे ना, बहुत दफ़ा आप देखोगे कि वो कुरान की आयत में आता है कि एग्जैक्ट वर्ड ये ज़िक्र आता है कि अच्छाई की तरफ बुलाना और बुराई से रोकना। तो अल्लाह ताला हमें बताता है कि अच्छाई की तरफ आओ। मतलब वो अच्छाई कितना सिंपल सा वर्ड है, एवरीबडी कैन सेंस कि अच्छा क्या होता है और बुरा क्या होता है। तो अच्छाई को पहचानें और उसको अपनी ज़िंदगी का हिस्सा बनाएं और उसको अपने वैल्यू सिस्टम का हिस्सा बनाएं और उस बेस के ऊपर अपनी लाइफ को खड़ा करें और वो जो फाउंडेशन है ना, वो और मजबूत होनी चाहिए अगली जनरेशन तक जाते जाते। ये मेरा मैसेज।
With that, thank you all of you who were watching our live stream, who are going to watch this live stream after this ends. And I always have such a wonderful time doing these live streams, talking to you guys. And please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe our live streams, because that is like a free way to help us boost this live streams, and is gonna make us do these live streams again and again forever and ever, as long as we have like sans that is going on. And with that, I'd like to say bye-bye to all of our amazing listeners. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting us so much. And we'll be back with another amazing episode very, very soon.